So he says, but you know what it is to me? This undertaking, and then my also thing is like, talk to me about Andy Cohen. Like, could he lose his job? Could there be a civil lawsuit? Like, talk to me about this. I find that interesting. What one of the most interesting things, which he's like, we're just getting into. I said, are you into the contracts yet? To me, the Bethenny clause. These are my questions. And Mark was like, oh my God, slow down. Like, let me tell you, here are my, this is literally, you got to go listen to the interview. I'm like, here are my questions about the Bethenny clause. Okay. When you're on the show and you sign this, is this in perpetuity or is this just when you're on the show? I'm on the show for a year. I have a little bit of fame. I get fired after being a housewife for 1 year. I come up with a product a year later. It's as brilliant as Skinny Girl. I sell it for $100 million. I owe Bravo a percentage because it was on there for a year. Is that true? Does this extend to everything? I'm at a nightclub for the night, $10,000. Do I have to pay? Does it extend to the Countess's Cabaret? I understand a product. Does it extend to everything else? Does it extend to like you come up with a product after, right? Like after you're on the show. I just had so many questions about the Bethenny clause. And he was like, we're just getting into the contracts. I'm like, oh my God. But I almost think that this undertaking is a bigger undertaking than Be Strong. Like Be Strong, you control it. If you have money and people can donate, I'm not saying please, I am not putting down Be Strong and flying planes and giving relief, but that's like you can hire people and get people to donate time. And that's a big undertaking, but at least you could understand it. This to me is like, it's so like, and I said to Mark, what is the goal of this? Is it money? Is it residuals? Is it a union? Is it all of the above? Is it changing the contracts? Is it, better working conditions? There's so much to this. I'm like, I left my interview. I loved Mark. I left my interview with more questions than I had.
Maybe it's going well. I mean, that's the thing with Bethenny, right? Is you just can't. I mean, she always says, never bet against me. I mean, she's right. I mean, it's monumental what she's done in her career. And oftentimes I tune in and I agree 100% with so many things that she says and does. And I've said it from the start. I mean, she's absolutely right. There needs to be a union. And, she says that they're going to get to every network. This is always my thing because you guys know I work so closely with TLC. I mean, it's mind-blowing to me that I hope some TLC members, cast people have been in touch with her. I mean, if you knew what some of these people on incredibly popular shows make, it's criminal compared to the ratings and the insane amount of money that the TLC network is making off these people. I mean, the ratio is just, it's unfreaking believable. And they get no health benefits. They get no retirement. I mean, maybe, I don't even know if there's a workman's comp, although that might be dependent upon state per state.
That's what I'm saying. There's a lot.
Criminal. So I hope, and you're right. I guess Rome wasn't built in a day. And you think about the SAG-AFTRA unions, they started in the 30s, so we're going on almost 100 years of these unions for actors. So they have such a huge heads up or leap ahead. So I think this is Bethenny's legacy. It's going to take a long time, but boy, if she can pull this off, right? I mean, be huge.
You're all for it, huh?
Oh, well, I mean, yeah, these people need it. 100%. I mean, 100%. There's absolutely. I mean, you ought to at least be able to get a retirement. I mean, I'm a member of SAG.
Oh,
You ought to at least qualify for your health insurance if you work. You ought to be able to work for a retirement. You ought to be able to have, right to workman's comp if you're injured. I mean, these people are encouraged. Well, I don't care what they say. They're not discouraged to fight.
What we never talked about also, which when we were talking about Tom Sandoval, is the fact that his the owner of Schwartz and Sandy's did not film and would not film for the show and does not want Tom in the restaurant.
Why do you think that is?
I don't know, but you know what? We just got a birding alert sent to me. Really?
I did too. I know where you're going with this. I just saw it too. Yeah.
Bedore.
Arrested for DUI.
Shannon Bedore. Well, Kelly Dodd just said this. She just said, that she was a drunk. She just called Shannon a drunk. She was right. Arrested for DUI, hit and run. struck house in Newport Beach. It just got a lot rougher. The reality star got busted for driving drunk this weekend. The Real Housewives of Orange County drove her car onto a residential property in Newport Beach. Oh, wow. Clipped the house. Okay, Shannon. We're told Bedore then turned back onto the road and kept going before parking her vehicle in the middle of the street and getting out with her dog. So she got out. Sources say she tried to act like she was taking a walk when police arrived after receiving a 911 call. We're told she wasn't fooling anyone. She appeared wasted. She was taken into custody. Cops seized her car. So she drove the car onto the lawn, clipped the house, drove it into the street, and I guess said, I'm drunk. I better get out. So that was smart. And then I guess just left the car there. Cops also seized her car. Oh, yes. They looked at a rep for Newport Beach PD said she was booked for 2 misdemeanors, hit and run, and DUI. Oh, wow. She was cited and released without bond. She was not filming with Bravo before the arrest. The show's not in production. No kidding.
Why the fuck was she released without bond?
I have no idea. This is crazy.
I do. It's this stupid California crap that they're trying to do where they're, not bonding people. That's such bull. She should have been held and had $100,000 bond. I mean, that's crazy. They're doing this crap, trying all this stuff in California, and it's not working. Don't even get me started.
Don't even get you started. You're about to go on a rant, but this is the thing.
To go on a crime rant because these cities, it's absolutely fucking insane. And people feel like they can steal, they can drink and drive, they can do drugs. There's absolutely zero consequence.
Well, Erica Jane just said that she thinks Sutton has a drinking problem. I think Shannon has a drinking problem. We know I think Sonia Morgan has a drinking problem. Also might have a little bit of a drinking problem, a little. And by the way, no criticism, because I love to. There's a difference between like drinking and drinking, right? Like I don't have a drinking problem. I went cold turkey during COVID. And I would never drive a car drunk. I don't drive. But also after 3 martinis, that's when I'm like, girl, you're not safe. You get in that Uber and get home. I think Taylor Armstrong, maybe a little, just a little.
Yeah.
Sonia number 1, though. Someone's got to look up Sonia Morgan.
It's sad. These women, it's sad about Shannon and Sonia as well. All of them. I mean, Shannon has 3 girls that are looking up to her that are in a pivotal age in their teenage years heading to college. And it's sad. Their mom has a problem. It's like, that's awful. I mean, that stays with your kids forever. And it's not, look, this, you have alcoholic friends in recovery and some that aren't. I mean, alcoholism is a disease. I mean, you can't just turn it off.
No criticism. No criticism.
No, of course not. It's